Welcome. This is RJ Walker. He is
Howdy.
reading our The Fallout and Crimson Snow. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm RJ. I'm best known for my spoken word poetry. I also narrate audiobooks. I am not best known for narrating audiobooks. A lot of the books I've narrated are actually in the nonfiction category. But I have several fiction, particularly youth fiction. Right now I'm doing a vampire series. I am on the last book. It's almost done. The book series is called Vampire Court, and it has been one of the more delightful books that I've done.
Oh, cool. How many books are in the series?
So the series is a little weird. I feel like the way fiction and publishing works these days, especially in like the age of Amazon and Kindle and all of that, has really changed the way that books are serialized in order to maximize profits. So there are 10 books in the total series, I believe. I'm narrating 5 of them. And the way that the books are serialized is by chess piece rank.
Oh, interesting.
And color. So I'm narrating the black side of the chessboard. So the first book is called Black Pawn. The second one is Black Rook, then Black Knight, Black Bishop, which just released, and now I'm narrating Black King.
Oh, cool.
And the other books are done by a feminine narrator.
Okay.
And she does the white side of the board. And so there are 2 protagonists in the series, and their stories kind of intersect as they happen parallel to each other.
Cool. Well, so with your, why don't we talk about your spoken word poetry? You've gone all across the United States. What is your best experience, your most favorite poem,
My best experience, I really liked the National Poetry Slam in Denver in 2017. Cool. The vibe there was really good, and like Denver is just like a really good city, especially for poetry. There's a venue there that I love performing at. It's probably one of my favorite venues in the country. It's called the Mercury Cafe, and it's one of the oldest poetry slam venues in America. And it's just always such a blast to go there and perform. And I had a tour planned for this year. Before the great disaster.
This is why we're having a virtual book launch.
Yeah. It is. And so I didn't get to go on my tour, but I did put together for myself a tour of Utah's ghost towns.
Oh, cool.
So I just traveled around to various ghost towns and did a little bit of like archaeology, anthropology work, learning about the people who used to live in these abandoned places and writing about it in a couple of essays.
Where can people find that? Do you have it online?
I have not like published it online yet, but I do have a Medium profile where I publish such things.
Which we will put it in here.
Mostly I write satire, but I also have, other articles.
Yeah, we'll make sure I'll put it in the description and everything because it'll be a YouTube video. Cool. What are your plans now? Like with poetry, with because I know you're just finishing up your vampire series, but what are your goals going into 2021 if everything goes well?
I mean, honestly, like being somebody who has been a live event worker and performer for the most part, I've basically had like my entire livelihood wiped out in a matter of months. So I've been really, really focusing hard on the voiceover work, the online publishing. That's why I got a Medium profile, because I'm not doing live shows for my performances. I've got to put these poems somewhere. Creating videos of my poems. And right now, actually, what I got distracted with, because I always get distracted with my projects,
It's okay.
is I am writing an ARG, or an alternate reality game.
Oh, cool.
Are you familiar?
I mean, kind of. Like you're talking about with things similar to virtual reality type stories, like that genre.
No. So an alternate reality game, I actually did one when I worked at Mystery Escape Room for
Oh,
Goldman
cool.
Sachs. But you don't actually technically need a computer to do an alternate reality game,
I
although
see.
one can certainly be used as a tool.
Hmm.
Um, the idea is that you have a narrative that's connected to real world locations, items, or objects.
Oh, cool. Like a
Uh,
scavenger hunt, kind of.
right.
Hmm.
Um, the main difference between a scavenger hunt and an ARG is that a scavenger hunt usually isn't connected by a narrative.
Okay.
And usually an ARG has more of a puzzle element rather than like a search and find. Like a
Okay.
scavenger hunt is like find 20 red rocks,
Right.
and then you write that down in your little notebook. For an
Hmm.
ARG, you would have, say like a public statue,
Yeah.
and you would search the public statue for some kind of sign or piece of the statue that connects to what's in your game material, that can help you form like a message or a code,
Oh, cool.
or give you a piece of lore or story material. And as you move through each like location, you discover more and more of the story.
Oh, that's so cool.
Normally ARGs are used for like promotional things. There is
Mhm.
like a sort of guerrilla marketing tactic. Um, the Nine Inch Nails actually did one for one of their concept albums.
Mhm.
That's really fascinating. The best part about an ARG is that it's kind of like role playing, but
Yeah.
the world is role playing around you rather than you role playing around the world.
I'm sold. Well,
So
is
yeah, I'm
it
gonna try to.
online or
Uh,
you
I'm
think?
I'm kind of trying to decide how I want to do distribution. If I want to like
Yeah.
talk to the haunted houses and be like, hey, this is like a socially distant
Right.
sort of thing you can do that is spooky, and fun, because that's
Yeah.
kind of been my problem, where I'm like, well, I've got to find like event modes that are going to be safe.
Right.
And an ARG is like something you can do like in a group of your close contacts,
Right.
together, all at different times from other people, so it can be socially distant and safe. The one that I'm creating is a cryptid hunt, where you're trying to locate a cryptid by following like the signs and clues and tracking it through the city.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, I want to talk to you a little bit more about that off camera. Um, yeah. No. Is there any other projects or anything you'd like to tell your listeners, your readers?
um, you know, uh, I've been obviously narrating the stories for Collective
Mhm.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Those are going to be really fun. Um,
Excited.
I just have a couple edits left for Crimson Snow, and then I just
Yeah.
got the edited script for the Fallout, and I'm going to be
Yeah.
starting that probably tonight.
Nice.
Um,
Excited.
yeah, other than that, I don't really have any active
Yeah.
projects. It's more just trying to figure out what projects are things that can happen in
Yeah.
Corona time.
Exactly. A lot of things seem to be halting. Just so, but I really appreciate you doing this interview because we'll have this up so that people can learn more about you and get involved and see just see what else they can do. But cool. Well, thank you. And
Totally.